Hello, Salon Sleuth fans. My name is Melissa, and my co host is Leslie. We decided we wanted to share our salon stories. We both have an interest in crime stories and a fascination with the psychic world. So settle in each week as we share another story with you. Who knows, you might even learn something.
Leslie, Salon Sleuth fans. Boy, do I have a shitty story to tell you today, girlfriend.
I can't wait. You teased me a little earlier today, so
I
I want to
know.
hear
I might have given you a little toot early.
it.
Okay, so firstly, let's just put it out there. There has been a lot of number two talk at my house, starting with COVID, the whole toilet paper debacle.
Yeah.
Then I had the reading with Alice Moon, and she said that I had, candida in my gut, right? So I had to get the poo-poo test. So needless to say,
Did you
there's
have
been a
it?
lot of potty talk. Did you guys call it potty talk when you were with your boys?
I don't even know if we named it. I just know that it happened.
Okay.
You
We
know,
we
I
with
saw that, but I don't know if we actually named it anything.
Well, my son and his best friend, they talked potty talk all the time, and the girls were like, they're talking potty talk. So that was our phrase. And I'd say, okay, boys, no more potty talk. But my daughter hated it from a very young age. She just did not understand why they insisted on talking about this disgusting bathroom, stuff. And I always told her, well, I think it's because it makes people uncomfortable, but because we're uncomfortable, we laugh at it because
Right.
it's so uncomfortable. And so she's like, well, I just don't think it's funny at all. And in the back of my head, I'm like, well, I kind of do.
It's gross and funny all at the same time.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is. So I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You are a runner and your husband's been a avid runner. He used to do those ultra marathons.
Melissa, you can never put me in the category of being a runner, ever.
Okay, well,
I
you
was
were a
more like
jogger.
a wogger. Like a
Okay,
walk jogger. Like I never ran. I just don't think it's in me. But thank you for
but
thinking
you jogged longer than I've ever jogged in my life. Like I would tell you that I actually was an avid jogger, but the avid part of me was that I did it, 5 times a week. I never skipped more than a day because I found if I went more than 2 days without it, I couldn't get started back up again. But
Yeah.
I never went more than 5 miles. Like
Okay.
I cannot fathom these people who do Ironmans or like ultra marathons. And have you watched these on TV?
Yeah, they're crazy.
Oh,
I know where you're going, maybe.
yeah, they're like soiled down the back and
Yeah.
they've like had to do the business on the
Yeah,
road.
that's right. They
I
just
can't
go. If you're
I
okay, like the people who go in their pants in a marathon, those aren't people in the back. Those are people who are going to win, and maybe there's money on the line, and then they don't care. They're just trying to win, right?
Oh, yeah. Do they clean out before they go? Like, did they go, "Oh, in preparation for this marathon, I'm gonna get her clean."
Um, I don't know what they do. They probably don't change their diet much, I would think, before. They're not going to eat anything they haven't normally eaten because they don't want to have reactions or something. But I do think that sometimes when you push your limits, things happen. And that would include going in your pants. And we've seen it. Like if you see you know, marathons and they're on TV and it's at the very last the finish line, they
Yeah,
have stuff all over their legs. It's
yeah,
really gross.
it
Because those
is.
are the top. But you would okay, but if somebody's like in the middle or towards the end, the last, if they have stuff coming out of their pants, they've got issues because they weren't running. They should have just gone to the bathroom or something. But
Okay, so when you did like we were talking this morning, you did your half marathon. Did you have to stop and go to the bathroom several times?
no, it's like
No.
when you would go out. Remember when you'd go out at night and go dancing or whatever, and you just didn't break the seal.
No, I always
Mhm.
broke the seal. I had to go number 1.
Right, but, like, I purposely would never drink when I would go out because well, I don't drink anyway, but, I wouldn't even have water because I didn't wanna have to go to the bathroom.
Really? See, I drank
And
water the whole
especially
night
some of
long.
those clubs that were downtown, like,
Yeah.
like, when the stalls doors are, like, really high or, you know, I just never wanted to go into a bathroom in those small
Oh.
places, so I just never drank anything.
So did Michael, when he was doing these, ever, like, clog up the system so that he wouldn't go?
No, I don't know if there was ever an issue, honestly, but
Really?
they do have, like, outhouses if you, like, really have to go, and again, he's not winning, so it's not like, you
He's
couldn't
gonna stop.
get pit stop, right.
Okay. Well, we did, the the hike climb to Mount St. Helens, and you know those little goo pods or whatever that
Yeah,
they
and
have?
Mount St. Helens doesn't have any trees to hide behind.
Well, exactly. So, one of the girls had these goo pods. I'd never had one before, and she's like, "Well, don't take a whole one because a lot of people get diarrhea from them."
Mm,
And we were right like 45 minutes from the top. And so it's completely barren and it's like screet, which is like the sandy stuff. And so you take one step up and you slide down like
yeah.
a half a step.
What did you
So
call it?
screet,
I didn't even know. I never knew that word.
yeah. Well, I didn't know it till then. But it's like it's more bigger rock than sand, but not as big as like gravel,
Yeah.
somewhere in between. And so anyways, they said, "Don't take a whole one." I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "Oh, you'll get diarrhea." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Like, okay. So I had a half one. It was amazing, but I could only imagine that people like, take doing those marathons and stuff, they take that stuff and then they gots to go.
Yeah, or you get used to it, I would think.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
don't know. I don't know these things because this is what happened. So so I started doing some research and then this story came up that happened in my own life. So I'll tell you my story and then we'll go on to the stories.
I can't wait.
Okay. So it's college, circa 1993, I think it was. And we had in architecture, we had studio and it would go on for 4 hours. And so we had these big desks, we had drafting boards and we had all of our drafting supplies and we had like lockers basically under our desks. And so we oftentimes had food and we had a microwave because we'd spend nights there, we'd spend hours on end there. And so I had one of these cases of what they called, I think they were like East Nile soups or West Nile soups. I can't really remember, but they were at Costco. Do you remember they were like in a small cup of noodle container?
Did you say West Nile?
I did say West Nile. Okay,
You
it
were
must have
just
been
talking
East.
about mosquitoes, but I don't think that's what you
Okay, was it East Nile soups?
They were like cup of noodles, but they were
Yeah.
for other things.
Yeah, they were
But
like
yeah,
beans. They were like there
yeah.
was I remember the split pea one and the black bean one. Well, okay. So I had a big case of those. And so I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of things in my case this one day. And so I'd eaten a black bean soup. And I was like, oh, that just kind of wasn't enough. So I had another one. And, this was around 1 o'clock or something. Well, I went home and I decided to go for a jog. And it's now 4:30. And I go out on my jog. And again, I only jogged like 3.5, 4 miles as typical, right? So I get, halfway out and I got to go. And never, never, ever, ever have I felt such excruciating pains, like stabs to my gut pains. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of suburbia. There's nowhere to go. Like there's no mini mart or Starbucks. This was before Starbucks, but there's nowhere to go. And it is doubling me over. And I'm like, oh my God, I am like 2 miles from home. I do not know that I can hold this long. So I would literally run as fast as I could. And then the pain would grip me and I would double over and I'd be like, oh, and I was the whole time thinking, oh my God, this may actually happen with or without my like consent.
Were you wearing leggings?
Yes. Yes, I was wearing leggings and I had no, tissue. I had no Wipies.
Nowhere to hide.
No. And there was nowhere to hide. Like I would have had to gone in somebody's backyard to hide. There were no
Ew.
trees. And this was a road that was like Boone's Ferry. It wasn't a full highway, but it was like a very populated street. So there was nowhere I was just going to like jet over behind the bush and no one was going to see me. Like this was going to be a deal. So it was the longest 2 miles of my life, Leslie. I was literally running block by block, and then the cramps would get me, and I'd be doubled over, and then it would pass, and then I'd run until the next one. It was horrible.
You were in labor.
I basically was. In fact, I got home. I spent 20 minutes in the bathroom, damn near crying. It hurt so bad.
Oh, you had a poop baby.
Oh my God, I had the biggest poop baby. And I was in so much pain.
Oh my God. Oh shoot.
I told my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, I said, dude, if this is childbirth, if this is what it feels like, or half, I am not doing that. I am not going through childbirth. This was horrible. Oh my God, are you peeing your pants right now?
I can't believe you told him.
I totally did. I'm an oversharer. We have discussed this.
Did you leave it for him to go see too?
No. Okay, so
Oh,
this became the tagline. Is it a 2-bean soup day? Don't have 2 bean soups. Like it was
Ew.
always the tagline about the bean soups. Always the 2 bean soups.
That is
So
hilarious.
Leslie, here's what I'm going to tell you. My advice on those cup of noodle soups.
Yeah.
You can have 1 bean soup. You cannot have 2 bean soups.
No.
You will hurt yourself.
And no 2 bean soup.
Yes.
Oh my! Have you ever had coconut water?
No. Well, I don't like coconut water. Why? What does it do?
I don't either. It does the same thing. It like people who have never had it before, they drink it and like you just watch them in like 10 minutes.
No
They're
way.
in the bathroom.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think Michael had him in his work truck and then gave one to somebody. He was like, "Okay, just wait a few minutes."
I got to go. Well, that's a good thing on vacation. Do you get blocked up when you're on vacation?
No, we told you we go into camping mode.
I do not go into camping. Okay, when you travel, like, do you ever travel to like Europe?
No.
Okay.
I've been to Juarez, Mexico. That's as far as I've been outside the United States.
I get blocked up.
I've been to Canada. That's better than Juarez.
All right. Well, next time I'm going to take some coconut water because I get blocked up when I go on vacay.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this
body went into camping mode. See?
I need camping mode. I don't have camping mode.
You do. That's why you can't go. When you get there, you're in camping mode.
Okay, well, yes, but I think that's because you sit so long, like on a plane. I don't know. I guess that is camping mode.
Yeah, you just wait until you have your poop.
But don't you feel like you need to get out of camping mode?
I don't know. Well, you know what? Our vacations are probably not nearly as long as yours. I've got 4 kids. We don't go anywhere. So I'm imagining when you go into Europe for 3-week backpacking hike, you probably do need to bring your 2 bean soup with you.
Yeah, you got to get out of camping mode at some point.
Oh my gosh, you are so funny.
Okay, so this brings me to my story.
Okay.
In Colorado, in 2017, this was August of 2017 in Colorado Springs, there comes this story of this jogger who becomes called the Mad Pooper. And she is jogging through this neighborhood, and at least once a week for 7 weeks, she is pooping on this one family's lawn. Once a week. But here's the deal, Leslie. It's not just a one-off. She brings wipes.
Ew.
To wipe herself off. And she leaves the wipe there.
Ew.
Yeah. Okay, to make matters worse, so they start finding these presents on their lawn. And they're like, what the hell's going on, right? One day, the woman of the house is in the house and the kids come, screaming into the house. They're like, the lady, she's pooping on our lawn. The lady comes out, the woman who owns the house, and she says, are you seriously pooping in front of my kids? And the lady's like, yeah, sorry, pulls up her pants and goes.
Ew.
So she calls the police and they said, well, we really need proof of this, right? So she puts up cameras and she also put up a sign. And this was my favorite part. I'm quoting her right now. Please, I'm begging you, please stop. She says that the woman ran past it like 15 times yesterday and she still pooped in their yard.
Ew.
Yes. And then this is my other favorite part. The Colorado Springs Sergeant Sharketti was quoted, it's abnormal. It's not something I've seen in my career. For someone to repeatedly do such a thing, it's uncharted territory for me.
Ugh.
Yes. So
Okay,
then,
I did hear about this story actually.
did you?
I'm guessing that like her body's just got its own clock, and right when she hits that area, she has to go.
Okay, so here's my thing. If you know you're going to go, if I knew that a two bean soup day was going to cause havoc, I would have taken precautions or I would have ran like destination run, okay, I know there's somewhere I can go to the bathroom there.
Exactly.
But she's not doing that. And she has the forethought thought to bring wipies. Why didn't
And
she bring a
she
bag?
like even after they asked her not to, they did it. That's gross.
And it's just like a dog. Like, okay, fine. Clearly, your dog's going to go, although we've discussed your dog. Your dog also has camping mode when it goes on a walk. My dog does not. You bring
No,
bags.
but she's a private pooper. Okay.
That's right. She's a private pooper. I love that.
Yes.
So tell our listeners about private pooper Pansy.
Um, our little Daisy, I don't ever have to bring bags because she does not go in public. In fact, in our own backyard, she hides to go to the bathroom, even if she's peeing. And we try to make her feel uncomfortable. And so when she's going, we'll call her name so she knows that, she'll look at us like all embarrassed because we've caught her peeing in the backyard. And one time my husband went like to work on, I think he was actually trimming the trees next to the fence. And he thought that we were putting all her dog poop right next to the fence when we hadn't. She just goes against the fence. Like it is like, he goes, it is like piles and piles. It's like a line of dog shit all along the fence. Because she doesn't do it in public ever. Like she might pee in public or she's like marking her territory.
Right.
It's always like a drop here and there. But she really just does, she is very private. And we find it hilarious when we catch her. And then you see the look on her face. She's like mortified. It's really funny.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do not have that dog. So I bring wipes. I do not wipe my dog.
Oh, Alyssa.
Disgusting. I bring bags. And you know what? Here's the deal with her. She will do it multiple times.
Ugh.
She's not just a one-timer. Like she does not go into camping mode. She's in full mode.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's like she's
Well,
held
I'm
it up.
imagining a dog like that is in my future, but right now I'm pretty lucky. And the funny thing is, like, we have a dog door, and
Yeah.
so we'll be in the living room, and all of a sudden, like, she comes running in the house. She does like a victory lap. And we're like, that must have been a like two
A
bean
big
soup
one.
because she's doing a victory lap around the house, and she's a new person,
She
our new
feels
dog.
lighter. She
Yes,
feels lighter.
oh yeah, she's bouncing all over the place.
So
I wanted
why
to
would
tell you the story. I just saw it reminded me of your story about the lady. But there was in New Jersey, on the track, they kept finding, poop on the track. And they I don't know if they put up a camera or whatever, but it ended up being a superintendent of that district.
I have that story, as a matter
Yeah.
of fact. They
What were you
started
gonna
calling
tell it?
him the pooper intendant of schools.
Yes. So you tell the story because it's really
Okay.
It reminded me of this, and then I just Googled it. So I don't know any of the details, but you go ahead and tell the story.
Well, the only thing I have is in 2018, he was a superintendent in New Jersey. He was nabbed in a sting.
Yeah, because it kept happening, right?
Yeah.
And so they had to catch him.
A sting operation, relieving himself under the bleachers.
See, I think it's kind of like that chick. Like they do so much, and then their body's got its clock. But couldn't he have a key to the school? Like he's a superintendent.
Correct.
That's
Or
just
how
weird.
about you bag it up? Like, I'm sorry. I get it. I get it. I have been on clearly I had the two bean soup and I've had been other times where I'm like, "Ooh, I could use a bathroom right now." It gets going, right? But I cannot fathom leaving it.
Yeah.
I cannot I would
Well, first of all, it
horrified.
doesn't look like dog poop. It looks like human poop. I'm
Well, and
imagining.
also he did it several times. It's not like he just did it once, "Oh my gosh, I had a two bean soup day." It's like, "No, no. This was intentional and he had no plans of picking any of it up." Well, so this also happened in 2019 in Australia, the same thing. There is
Gross.
actually video if you Google it, Australia 2019.
I don't know if I want to see it.
You should. You should. Okay. This woman, after 3 weeks of these business owners finding human feces on the street in front of their business, she put up cameras and caught a woman jogger dropping trow right in the same spot every morning
Gross.
between cars. Now, here's the thing, she had TP and wipes. And the video shows her checking out her wipe and then wiping again because she didn't get it all.
Ew.
And then she just pulls up her pants and moves on.
That is disgusting.
I
What's
mean,
wrong with people?
come on. If you
Who's
have the
gonna step on that?
if yes, if you have the wherewithal to bring wipies or TP, like, come on now, you could bring a bag and just.
You know, the other thing that really bothers me is the people who walk their dogs and they clean up after them, but they leave the bag.
I do not understand that.
I see those bags all over the place, and I'm like, why would they do that? Like, I mean, if you don't want to carry it, tie it to your leash or let your dog carry
Right.
it. I don't care, but don't leave it there. Like that's just as gross as just leaving it.
Well, and my whole thing with that is now it's not compostable. Like it's not going to disintegrate in the rain. Like that bag is going to be there until someone else picks it up. Who else
Right.
do you think is going to come pick it up?
Pick up somebody else's poop. That's
Yes.
gross.
Yes. Okay,
Ugh.
so there was also a man in Brisbane, Australia, 64-year-old who became termed the poo jogger.
Ugh.
He was a male jogger and they did another little sting and there's picture of it full full like squat and the man has like diarrhea or something. I feel bad for him. Like clearly he has issues.
That's
But they
gross.
got it on camera and he lost his job.
Ew. How
Yeah.
embarrassing.
I know. I know. It's
Well, this was
crazy.
really disgusting. At the high school, I believe it was last year.
Uh-huh.
Um, there was an awful smell coming from one of the bathrooms, and apparently the boys were going on top of a clog, and then it
Ew.
just became a thing to where it was coming out of the top of the toilet.
Oh, that's
They just kept going on top of it, and I'm like, that janitor or building engineer, they have to go in and clean that. It's not like you
but
could just flush that.
but did they do that all in one day or did that
I think
happen
it
over
just it well, I mean, I don't know because you would think that they would clean it nightly. I don't know for sure. And it might have been one of those bathrooms that people don't use on a very big, like, I don't know.
Okay,
I
but
just
come on.
know that there was a lot of poop and everybody just kept going on top of it. They're just disgusting.
That's just good. That's gross. I
I
mean,
guess the whole hall smelled for a long time.
but I feel like the janitor wasn't doing their job. They should have known that bathroom was clogged. They should be checking that every day.
Yeah, they're probably leaving it for the next janitor. Like, maybe I'll let the morning guy do it. And nobody was doing it. Yeah, I don't know. It was just the thought of it is just really gross. One of my daughters had a friend who, every time she would go, she would take a picture of it and send it to her group chat.
Oh gosh, stop it.
Yeah, I'm not a sharer like that at all. And sometimes they were really funny. And I'm sure I wonder now how she would think of it now that she's older.
Older. Oh my.
Like, now that you get boyfriends and you're gonna be going to college and, like, those pictures come back.
Yes, she can never run for president.
Although she's not in the pictures, and, it's too late to do DNA on them. Oh, it was really funny. I can't remember. We were somewhere where there
Did
was an
she flush them? Wait, did she
no,
flush them?
well, she did afterwards, but she
Okay,
took a picture of them with her phone and
okay.
then, show them to her friends. But, somebody had gone to the bathroom at the outhouse, and I can't remember if it was just like a day trip we were out, and, my husband is extremely funny. Like, probably
Yes.
one of the funniest people and he's such a dry humor, you're not sure if he's kidding.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, is he mad?" I'm like, "He's kidding, actually." But so, somebody had gone to the bathroom, and, at this time is when we had the big group of friends. A huge group. There were like 15 kids of us, all of our kids to get together. Somebody had gone, and he comes back and he's like, "Holy cow, like, which one of you did that?" And he's like, "Okay," he's like, "Okay, we're gonna do a poop lineup." Like, everybody because whatever it was, I didn't see it, and of course, some of the kids have to run back to the outhouse to look at it because it's just so gross, but,
Oh my
he did a poop lineup. He was joking about doing a poop lineup because nobody was going admitting to it, and a few of those people, they would have admitted if it was theirs, but, it was just
oh
a really funny moment, and
Okay,
it
well,
yeah.
let me just tell you about some other gross things that you
Okay,
will
do.
see if you start Googling this. In January of 2020, they caught and arrested in Massachusetts a 51-year-old woman who they called the parking lot pooper. She was caught mid bowel movement outside Natick outdoor store. She used this parking lot as her bathroom 8 times since December 2019. So in 1 month, she used it 8 times, and she also left wipes and TP.
That is disgusting.
I mean, right? Like, why? Why are we doing that? I don't
Well,
understand
and
that.
did she know that they had it said this? Like, did she know that there was this people were, like, calling her this?
I don't know, but you know what? You gotta you actually have to look at the, what's it called when they take your picture at the police station?
Oh, the mug
What's the yeah, the mugshot. She's like looks like she's like mid cry, like the ugly cry, like, "Oh, I'm being tortured," or something. Like, dude, you were shitting on a parking lot. Like, that's disgusting. And why were you doing that?
that is just really disgusting.
And nobody said that she was homeless or anything like that. Like, no, she's just pissed off at the store, I guess. The one in Colorado, though, I did forget to tell you that finally somebody came forward and said that they were a family representative, which some people are questioning, right? They're like, "Are you really a family representative?" Or, and they still have not caught this woman, but the family representative said that she has mental illness and that she was going through gender reassignment. And so this was causing her to have a lack of self control.
Okay, I don't believe that, first of all.
I don't either.
And is it just because she got caught that they're saying this? And honestly, if she's got some like mental stuff going on, she probably shouldn't be having that surgery.
Well, exactly.
I mean, you know what? It is so disgusting, Melissa. If you Google, I think I Googled pooping in store. You know how many videos are on this thing?
Okay, you have to watch one of them. I'm gonna actually send it to you because she literally leans against a wall because he won't let her use the bathroom. This is the other gal that, or yeah, another woman that was at a store, and she asked to use the bathroom. They said no, and so she literally argues with him for a little while. She leans back on the, like, there's like a half wall. She leans back on the wall. She craps on the floor. Then she grabs some of it with napkins and starts throwing it at him.
Ew. Yeah, send me some of those things, and I'd be happy to put them on our
I
page.
will.
If somebody wants to see some disgustingness. I don't
I
know why
will.
we would, but I mean, we're gross. We watch this stuff.
Well, I kind of got into it. Like, I kind of
Start
couldn't stop
watching it.
myself. It was one of those things where you're like, "Oh, Melissa, why do you find this funny?" Because it's uncomfortable. That's why I find it funny.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm going to send you this one.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what I have to you today. It's a shitty story on a beautiful day.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. We
Right?
know more about your family now. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm an oversharer, and it was a two bean soup day. And, you have to learn from these things. I never would eat two bean soups again.
You haven't since, like
Yep.
ever?
No, I would not have two bean soups. No way. My body just can't handle it.
Well, that West Nile's two bean soup. You never know. Oh,
West
good.
Nile, East Nile. I mean, it's one of the Niles,
That's really funny. I'd
Oh,
rather live in denial, I
you
think.
live in denial. I live in denial too. I got to tell you, that was the happiest day when my kids stopped pooping in their diaper and
Oh,
started doing it in the toilet. That was just
oh,
magnificent.
I was going to tell you my story, remember? Well, first of all, my son, he would I would say, you come in, so my kids were like 15 months apart, right?
Yeah.
So I go into the living room and I'm like, who pooped? Because you can smell it in the diapers. And my son would tell me Ella did it. And I'm like, Ella pooped in your diaper? I'd like to see that happen. Like, because after you check, you can see who did it, who actually did it.
Yes.
And I just think it's really funny because he would tell me Ella did it.
Yeah.
The other time, and I did mention this to you earlier, but my kids were in the hall, and it was both of them, Tristan and Ella. I don't remember whose diaper it was. Let's just say it got ripped off, and whatever was in it fell onto the ground. And they're going, and they're really little. I mean, they're probably like 1 and 2 years old, and they're going, uh oh. And my dog goes over apparently, and then my son says, "Never mind."
Gross.
As I'm like trying to get like paper towels or whatever it is that I was going to get, by the time I made it there was nothing to clean up. And that was it. Like, and that was the
Oh.
last time I ever kissed my dog. Like, we just don't, that was gross.
Oh.
It was really gross. Little voices, they're so cute.
Yes.
And you're just like,
Never mind.
never
I
mind.
I actually love that. Never mind.
Oh God. Don't you remember like when they had babies, like how do they get it to like the top of their shirt, like down the
Yes.
bottom of their pants? Like how do you do you lean forward and then it shoots up your back? Like how did it get everywhere?
Well, I did not share this with you, but my son was a mad pooper. Like, he so many times, it would be in his car seat, up his back. We had to, like, totally take apart the car seat. Like, it was just everywhere. One time, it even made it up to his hairline. It was so disgusting.
Yeah. I don't
We've
know
had
how
a
they
lot
did
of
that.
incidents. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross.
It is disgusting. Ugh. Ugh. But,
Yeah.
people, if you're gonna go running and you have a propensity to this, take a bag with you. I mean, I don't care. Put the wipies in the bag and take them with you, and then scoop it, put the wipey into the bag, tie it in a knot. I don't care. I don't even care if you put it in my garbage can after that. Like,
Yeah.
you can walk to my garbage can and put it in my garbage can. I am fine with that. Just don't leave it there. Come on now.
That's just gross.
It is. It's disgusting.
And if you have to go, you have to go. Just clean up after yourself.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
God. Could you imagine just like going for a walk and stepping in human poop?
Oh, no. I cannot. I gotta send you the picture of the guy too that had, like, the explosive diarrhea that got fired from his job for it because, I mean, whoa, you've got some issues, dude. I mean, that's not even hard stuff. That's just
Could
oh.
you imagine? Like, well, why did they let you go after 32 years? Well, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, I was termed the poo jogger.
Ugh.
Gross.
Like, and after, like, wouldn't let's just say 2 times, you're like, "Oh, this is kinda weird. Why do I always have to go here?" Wouldn't
Yes.
you change the route? Wouldn't you,
Yes.
like, try to go to like, wait a little bit longer and try to go at home before you left? Like, something?
Yes. And this was the thing, he was jogging before the sun was up. It was, like, really early. So, dude, you need to wait a little while before you go, clearly.
Or, like, make it that a destination is, like, find a gas station or a
Yeah.
out house, go to that,
Yes.
and then continue.
Yes. Totally
I don't
fine.
know. You know what? If our listeners wanna interact here, we would love to get your comments on
Yes.
this, and if you have been a pooper in public, I would really love to hear your story. If you were caught, that would even be better. But please share that. That's one thing, Melissa, we need more interaction with our listeners
We
here.
do. We do. We
And
need our
I wanna hear your stories, and if you have something you want us to talk about, please let us know. We would love to do that.
Yeah.
We have some heavy stuff coming up, so it's nice to have some light, funny things to talk about here and there. And again, we have a variety of things that we talk about because these are the things that we talk about in the salon.
It's
And
true.
you may think that we're all over the place. Yes, we are. But each client brings a different story or a different theme or another idea. And so we kind of go with that. And so we are all over the place. And so, but I think that's what I like about it. Don't you think so,
Yes,
Melissa?
I do.
I like the variety. I am working on a couple of kind of heavy topics. And so I love that you brought this today because
Good.
we're going to need them every like 2 or 3 times because, you know, I think it's going to be hard here coming up. I hope so. I mean, I've got a project in the plans right
All
now.
right. Well, I did want to update our listeners. I think a couple week or last week I said we were going to talk to the family of Michael Bryson. He is a man. He's a young man. He's 27 from the Eugene area, and he was out at a party near Hobo Campground Row. Near Cottage Grove, and he was wearing black shorts and rainbow Crocs. He has a nose ring, facial hair, and geometric tattoos. He was last seen on August 5th. He also has green eyes and brown hair. Super cute kid. Anyways, I think the search is really been taxing for the family. And it sounds to me that they're just not ready to come forward and to talk publicly. I think they're letting the police investigation unfold as it should, but they have been searching the woods ever since, and I don't think they've stopped as of yet,
They
but
haven't
they
found
have
them yet.
still not found him.
Hmm.
But it does sound like from many of the comments from family that there are leads and that they do not think that it was unintentional or he just wandered off.
They don't
There's
think that.
no, I was reading
Sure.
a lot of the comments and people are making a lot of people that would be in the know are saying, we do have leads, we do have suspects, but we're not going to talk about them.
Well,
So,
because I feel like if he did just wander off, like even in a drunken or altered state,
yeah.
you would find him. Like it wouldn't,
Yeah.
unless something happened and he was injured or somehow got covered up. But
Well, and as you and I know, and this actually was said on his Facebook page, is that, if he would have perished in the woods and even animals would have taken him, they would find parts and pieces.
yeah,
And typically people don't get that far away, a mile. They don't get much
yeah,
further than a mile on their own. And so they've really scoured and have found nothing. Of his remains. Now they have found some personal items apparently. I'm not privy to any of that information, but through reading comments and things, it sounds like they do have some stuff, but he may have also like left stuff back in the camp.
I'm curious too. Like if I was trying to throw people off, I would say, well, I saw him, stumble into the woods.
Right.
Then
Exactly.
maybe he didn't go that direction.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you see him or you know anything about the case, people need to come forward. Here's my other piece of advice. If anybody's listening that knows something, you can do that anonymously and you will never be able to live with yourself knowing what you know without speaking up. So this doesn't get any easier as time goes on. In fact, it's going to get a lot worse. So you might as well just bite the bullet and say what you know and help them find him.
Yeah, join if you're in that area, please join the
Yeah.
search.
And there's a couple phone numbers. If you have any information, it's 541-515-1619. The other number is 541-513-3413. And it's Lane County case number 20-5286. Okay,
Well,
listeners. Well, thank you for joining us. Yeah.
we worked. We did
Yes,
it.
we did. We did. We look forward to talking to everybody next time.
Yes, thank
Have a
you.
great day. All
All
right.
right.
Talk to you
Bye.
soon. Bye.
Hey, Melissa, what kind of bras do you wear?
Oh my gosh, I wear handful bras.
Tell me why you love them so much. You talk about them all the time, and I just want to understand what is so great about them.
Well, I love them because they're comfortable. They are not constricting, so I can still like breathe and move around. And I like to do yoga too, and I like to stretch. And I do not like a bra that is just like sucking me in so that I'm so flat and can't breathe. I love the patterns. I love the different styles. Right now, they have this really cute, like teal color, and they've done a couple patterns in it too. And they have this wavy one, which I can't even remember the name because they have absolutely adorable names for these things. But they have the adjustable bra, which is their classic. They have the closer bra, which is great for people like you that have a little more than a handful. It's got the two little hooks and then it zips up. And my favorite pattern right now is the ripple effect is what it's called. And then I love the double down, which is a really cute new style that they have. And I love their leggings because I think they made them for me because they're so long. And they have a cute camo legging that I wear all the time.
I have those too. Brandy gave me a pair.
Oh my gosh, I
I do
love them.
have to say, I have a bunch of handful bras. I could not find them, and I found them in my daughter's room. She wears them all the time, and they are so cute. She almost could wear them as swimsuits. In fact, I think she does. Like she'll
Yep.
sunbathe in them because they are so cute. And I love when she wears like her tank tops, but you can see the bra strap kind of through it because they have the really cool crisscross and different designs. You can adjust them however you want, and I just think they're very flattering.
Yeah. And you got your first one. How's your first one?
I love it. No, I had them in the past, and then, for me, I needed a little bit more, and then they came out with this new one with the extra zip in it, and it really makes a big difference, and I love that it actually gives you 2, not just 1, and that's always been a problem in the past. You just get this, like, 1 mono boob. I actually still have 2 when I wear this new design that you had given me, so thank you, Melissa.
You're so welcome. Well, we do still have a handful code, as I recall.
We still do?
I think so. If not, we'll get it
That's like
updated.
20% off. Why aren't people buying these off the shelf?
I don't know. I don't know. They should be.
What is that code? Melissa, tell me.
That code is Salon Sleuths. Gosh, you're putting me on the spot now,
I
Leslie.
think it's just Salon Sleuths. If you go to the coupon code, it's just Salon Sleuths. Like, yeah.
But you have to spell sleuths right.
Yes. And I'm part of this podcast, and I spelled it wrong when I made your first tank top. It did not. I was thought that was so stupid of me. But how do you spell it, Melissa?
You spell it SalonSleuths. Go to handful.com, check them out. You'll be a fan for life.